Here's a hot take for you. I believe that we should do away with SNAP benefits completely. You know why? Because majority of you are scamming the system and you don't deserve them anyway. You do not deserve SNAP benefits because you spit out babies like a pest dispenser and all your baby daddies are in prison. You do not deserve SNAP benefits because you are morbidly obese. You do not deserve SNAP benefits because you have anxiety and PTSD because someone misgendered you. Like I said in the beginning, majority of SNAP beneficiaries are overweight, obese, morbidly obese, and don't deserve the benefits that I pay my federal tax dollars into because you want to be lazy and scam the system.
This line of thinking is far from a hot take, because it not only has existed for decades upon decades using the same racialized and personal responsibility rhetoric conservatives have always peddled in, but it also shows the wholesale lack of empathy towards other people that the current administration is cultivating right now. Case in point,
Erin Annis never thought she'd need SNAP benefits, but 3 bouts of cancer and a double knee replacement left her unable to work.
It means everything to me.
What exactly do you think you're going to need to do?
I'll have to ask my children to help me.
And what is...
That's an awful feeling.
How so?
For them to have to help me.
Even in...
It's a little tough to think about sometimes.
I'm afraid because as it is, my Social Security is very minimal. I'm afraid that I won't be able to afford those so-called lower grocery prices that he promised. I'm afraid for others. I am afraid for the children. I am afraid for seniors who are older than me. He's the president. He's supposed to be in it for the good of the people, not for him and his oligarchs.
For every meal that a food bank provides, the SNAP program provides 9. There's no way we can meet that gap. There's no way we can replace every single one of those meals. It is not sustainable for food banks to fill this gap. We were not built to do this.
what people like Professor Mike from that first piece of footage don't understand, or more often, don't care enough to understand, is that tax dollars are never wasted when those dollars are being used to keep someone else fed. Fellow TikTok Good Trouble also hit on another key flaw in Mike's logic.
According to the Government Accountability Office, 14,000 some odd people in 9 states that were working for Walmart and McDonald's and other fast food restaurants were making so little that they qualified and were on food stamps. People work and still need food stamps because these corporations, which are so far down your throat, God help them, don't pay their employees enough. The government subsidizes these billion-dollar companies with your tax money, and you're mad at people for needing assistance.
And here's the thing, the government cares far more about the well-being and survival of corporations than the literal lives of individual human beings living in the U.S. And it's a policy decision, people, made by those in power to allow hunger, a lack of proper medical care, underperforming schools, and other social welfare problems to fester and grow. It is by design, okay? It's not something that just comes out of thin air. It is very strategic to have all these issues rise up when that's their agenda. It's disgusting.
If you look at what food stamp recipients are saying in their own words, you come away with the distinct impression that almost none of these people actually need the food stamps. Instead, you come away with the impression that many of these people are simply entitled, lazy, barely literate, and like some of them are just frankly bad people. And of course, that doesn't describe every adult on food stamps. No one is saying that. When people are stealing our money who don't even need it and just wasting it in this profligate way, don't let anyone morally blackmail you into thinking that you're not allowed to be upset about that. And what you end up with is a lot of people who, rather than get a job, would prefer to rob grocery stores and the people shopping inside them.
Walsh is deliberately racializing this issue with his rhetoric here. Because for him to say, many of these food stamp recipients, you come away with the impression that they're, barely literate, right? Entitled, lazy, and just not good people. Those are all things that have been used to describe Black people specifically, but also people of color, right? When you look at the history, it's like, you're not intelligent, or you're barely able to read, something on a newspaper or whatever, and you think you just have everything handed to you and that you don't have to work for it. And he's doing that for a very specific reason, because he knows how his base feels about marginalized groups in America, but specifically Black people, and how we're seen as less than, and we're seen as inferior to other people because of all these stereotypes, right? It is cruel, not surprising that he does this, but it's a cruel message.
At stake, it is the livelihood, it is food on the table for over 42 million of Americans who are going to lose their faith in government if the Secretary of Agriculture doesn't utilize these contingency reserves that she has in place, that she has been given the authority to utilize to ensure that SNAP benefits in November are not delayed. So much data in terms of who benefits from SNAP. 96% are U.S. citizens. Majority of people who utilize SNAP are white Americans. The people who benefit from this program are Americans. Majority of people who are on SNAP are working. They live paycheck to paycheck, and this will offset them. While SNAP is supposed to be a supplemental program, in reality it's their whole food budget. And when you have to make a decision between making sure that there's food on the table for your child while they may be getting food at school, when they come home, they're going to see mommy and daddy skipping meals. So it's just unfortunately that they're utilizing human beings, Americans, as a political battle, as a chess pieces, when they're going to have to face their landlord and say, I don't have money for food. I don't know if I can pay my rent.
Trump and the Republicans are clearly acting like they don't have to worry about elections and potentially losing power anymore. And that is such a terrible thing to see unfolding in real time, because it is truly a horrific sight to watch the erosion of our democracy. We don't live in a democracy, okay? We do not. That is quite obvious in this day and age, especially, right? Where they don't have to follow rules. They don't have to follow the Constitution. They don't have to uphold it. They don't have to listen to judges. If something's illegal, they still do things anyway, because they think they're entitled, to all this power and greed and, stepping down on the common man and common woman to live in a lavish lifestyle, right? And promote whatever they want to do when it comes to this country. So, yeah, we're not even a year into this presidency, okay? We're not even a year in. And this is where we're at. For Rebel HQ, I'm Chris Williamson. We'll see you next time.
Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. Thanks for watching. If you found this reporting and commentary valuable, do us a favor and tap the like button. For more content like this, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way, you'll be notified on your YouTube homepage when we drop a new video. If you are tired of corporate spin and want honest, people-focused news, click the join button below and be part of the fight for a better future. We wouldn't be here without your support. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thanks again for joining us.